How do you like the music? Near a great forest dwelt a poor woodcutter with his wife and his 2 children. The boy was called Hansel, and the girl Gretel. He had little to eat, and once when a great famine fell on the land, he could no longer procure even daily bread. Now when he thought over this by night in his bed, and tossed about in his anxiety, he groaned and said to his wife, "What is to become of us? How are we to feed our poor children when we no longer have anything even for ourselves?" Sort of like the United States recently. "I'll tell you what," answered the woman. "Early tomorrow morning we'll take the children out into the forest to where it is the thickest. There we will light a fire for them and give each them 1 more piece of bread, and then we'll go to our work and leave them alone. They will not find their way home again, and we shall be rid of them." So take that as some advice for all you children. "No," said the man, "I will not do that. How can I bear to leave my children alone in the forest? The wild animals would soon come and tear them to pieces." "Oh, you fool," said she, "then we must all 4 die of hunger. You may as well plane the planks for our coffins," and she left him no peace until he consented. "But I feel very sorry for the poor children all the same," said the man. The children, however, were still awake and had heard the conversation. Hansel comforted his little sister and said, "Do not cry, Gretel. Go to sleep quietly. God will help us." Early in the morning came the woman and took the children out of their bed. Their small piece of bread was given to them. On the way into the forest, Hansel crumbled his in his pocket and often stood still and threw a morsel on the ground. "Hansel, why do you stop and look around?" said the father. "Go on." "I'm looking back at my little pigeon, which is sitting on the roof. I want to say goodbye to me," answered Hansel. "Fool," said the woman, "that is not your little pigeon. That is the morning sun that is shining on the chimney." Hansel, however, little by little, threw all the crumbs on the path. The woman led the children deep into the forest, where they had never in their lives been before. Then a great fire was made, and the mother said, "Just sit there, you children, and when you are tired, you may sleep a little. We're going into the forest to cut wood, and in the evening, when we're done, we will come and fetch you away." When it was noon, Gretel shared her piece of bread with Hansel, who had scattered his by the way. They then fell asleep, and the evening passed, but no one came to the poor children. Momentary pause. Oh, looks like Hansel fell down. He's still asleep. Wake up, Hansel. Now for a short musical interlude. I told you it was going to be different. Sound familiar? Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. Then they fell asleep and evening passed, but no one came to the poor children. They did not awake until it was dark, and Hansel comforted his little sister and said, "Just wait, Gretel, until the moon rises, and then we shall see the crumbs of bread which I have strewn about. They will show us our way home again." When the moon came, they sent out, but they found no crumbs, for the many birds that fly about in the woods and fields had picked them all up. Now I have a momentary pause. Sorry about that. I feel like I'm in church now. Hansel said to Gretel, "We shall soon find the way," but they did not find it. They walked the whole night, and all the next day, too, from morning till evening, but they did not get out of the forest, and were very hungry, for they had nothing to eat but 2 or 3 berries, which grew on the ground. And as they were so weary that their legs would carry them no longer, they lay down beneath the tree and fell asleep, which, like what they were just doing before. It was now 3 mornings since they had left their father's house, They began to walk again, but they always came deeper into the forest. And if help did not come soon, they must die of hunger and weariness. When it was midday, they saw a beautiful snow-white bird sitting on a bough, which sang so delightfully that they stood still and listened to it. Now that's a surprise to me, but I guess. When its song was over, it spread wings and flew away before them, and they followed it until they reached a little house, on the roof of which it alighted. And when they approached the little house, they saw that it was built of bread and covered with cakes, but that the windows were made of clear sugar. "We will set to work on that," said Hansel, "and have a good meal. I will eat a bit of the roof, and you, Gretel, can eat some of the window." How's that for a fair exchange? "It will taste sweet." Hansel reached up above and broke off a little of the roof to try how it tasted. Sound of a roof breaking. I'm kind of anxious for this now. Gretel leaned against the window and nibbled at the panes. She must have been really hungry. Then a soft voice cried from the parlor, "Nibble, nibble, nom. Who is nibbling at my little house?" The children answered, the wind, the heaven-born wind," and went on eating without disturbing themselves. Hansel, who liked the taste of the root, tore down a great piece of it, and Gretel pushed out the whole of one window pane and sat down and enjoyed herself with it. Suddenly, the door opened. Is the door open? I can't see it. And a woman as old as the hills, imagine that, came creeping out. Hansel and Gretel were so terribly frightened that they let fall what they had in their hands. The old woman, however, nodded her head and said,
"It's a witch!"
"It's a witch, yeah." "Oh, you dear children, who brought you here? Do come in and stay with me. No harm shall happen to you." She took them both by the hand and led them into her little house. Then good food was set before them, milk and pancakes, with sugar, apples, and nuts. Afterwards, 2 pretty little beds were covered with clean linen. This is supposed to keep going. You don't want to see back there. Afterwards, 2 pretty little beds were covered with clean linen. Hansel and Gretel lay down in them and thought they were in heaven. The old woman had only pretended to be so kind. She was in reality a wicked witch. Somebody up here knew that, who lay in wait for children and had only built a little house of bread in order to entice them there. When a child fell into her power, he became a feast day with her. Witches have red eyes. Can't see them from there. Cannot see far, but they have a keen scent like the beast and are aware when human beings draw near. When Hansel and Gretel came into her neighborhood, she laughed with malice and said mockingly, "I have them! They shall not escape me again." Early in the morning, before the children were awake, she was already up. And when she saw both of them sleeping and looking so pretty, with their plump and rosy cheeks, she muttered to herself, "That will be a dainty mouthful." Then she seized Hansel with her shriveled hand and carried him into a closet and locked him inside. Scream as he might, it would not help him. Then she went to Gretel, shook her till she awoke, and cried, "Get up, lazy thing! Fetch some water and cook something good for your brother. He is in the closet and is to be made fat. When he is fat, we will have a feast." Gretel began to weep bitterly, but it was all in vain, for she was forced to do what the wicked witch commanded. And now, the best food was cooked for poor Hansel, but Gretel got nothing but dry bread. Every morning the woman crept to the closet and cried, "Hansel, stretch out your finger, then I might feel it. You will soon be fat." Hansel, however, stretched out a little bone to her, and the old woman, who had dim eyes, could not see it, and thought it was Hansel's finger, was astonished that there was no way of fattening him. When 4 weeks had gone by, and Hansel still remained thin, she was seized with impatience and would not wait any longer. "Now then, Gretel," she cried to the girl, "stir yourself and bring some water. Let Hansel be fat or lean. Tomorrow we will feast." Ah, how the poor little sister did lament when she had to fetch the water, and how her tears did flow down her cheeks. "Dear God, help us," she cried. "If the wild beasts in the forest had but devoured us, we should have, at any rate, have died together." "Just keep your noise to yourself," said the old woman. "It won't help you at all." Early in the morning, Gretel had to go out and hang up the cauldron with the water and light the fire. "We will bake first," said the old woman. "I have already heated the oven and kneaded the dough." She pushed poor Gretel out to the oven, from which flames of fire were already darting. Are the flames of fire darting? "Creep in," said the witch, "and see if it is properly heated so that we can put the bread in." And once Gretel was inside, she intended to shut the oven and let her bake in it. But Gretel saw what she had in mind and said, "I do not know how I am to do it. How do I get in?" "Silly goose," said the old woman, "the door is big enough. Just look. I can get in myself." Then she crept up and thrust her head into the oven. Then Gretel gave her a push and drove her far into it, and shut the iron door and fastened the bolt. Yay for Gretel! Gretel ran away, and the evil witch was gone forever. However, that's still not the end of our show. Don't get too excited. Gretel then ran like lightning to Hansel, opened the closet, and cried, "Hansel, we're saved, the old witch is dead." And Hansel sprang, boing, like a bird from its cage when the door is opened. How they did rejoice and embrace each other, and dance about and kiss each other. Let's give them a moment to themselves there. And as they had no longer any need to fear her, they went into the witch's house and found a chest full of jewels. "These are far better than pieces of bread," said Hansel, and thrust into his pockets whatever he could get in. And Gretel said, "I too will take something home with me," and filled her aprons full. "But now we must be off," said Hansel, "that we may get out of the witch's forest." When they had walked for 2 hours, they came to a great stretch of water. Must have been a long walk. Okay. Now where was I? I got it. We cannot cross, said Hansel. I see no footplank and no bridge. And there's also no ferry, answered Gretel. But a white duck is swimming there. If I ask her, she'll help us over. Then she cried, little duck, dost thou see? Hansel and Gretel are waiting for thee. There is never a plank or bridge in sight. Take us across on thy back so light. And the duck came to them. And Hansel seated himself on its back and told his sister to sit by him. No, replied Gretel, that will be too heavy for the little duck. She shall take us across one after the other. The good little duck did so, and they were once safely across and had walked for a short time. The forest seemed to be more and more familiar to them, and at length they saw from afar their father's house. Then they began to run, rushed into the parlor, and threw themselves around their father's neck. The man had not known one happy hour since he had left the children in the forest. Gretel emptied her pinafore until precious stones ran around the room. And Hansel threw one handful after another out of his pocket to add to them. Then all anxiety was at an end. And guess what? They lived together in perfect happiness. The end.